Okay, good morning, everybody. It's Jason, Princey Prince Jr. here, ready for another episode of What's the Difference? Today, we're diving deep into the catalog of a little band I like to call the Beatles. All right, we got two LPs. We got the Beatles, we got A Hard Day's Night, and we have the Beatles, we have A Hard Day's Night. Now, the main difference that I first see between these two records is the color. We got a red LP here. You notice that this LP is the color red, and this LP over here, it's primarily blue. it's, it's an interesting difference. There's also a lot more photographs here on this one, and there's only 4 photographs on the cover of this one. So I wonder how they really went through the photographs and decided which ones to choose. So if you take a look at the title here, if you take a look at this title, it says Original Motion Picture Soundtrack, and this one it says no mention of a soundtrack at all. So it seems to be that this is the primary LP and that this is a separate soundtrack for the album, for the movie. It's really quite different than this one over here. So other than the photos, so you see the 4 photos. You got 4 photos, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 20 photos on here on the front. And then if you look at the back, which is interesting, the back of this one has 4 photos, but the the back of this one has a lot more photos on it. So it's an interesting difference here. You got 4, 4, and then a lot and a lot. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about 15 photos on the back here, 4 on the back here, 15 and 4, that's 19. And then we decided that was 20 on the front, 4 on the back. So 24 photos total, 19 photos, 24 photos. That's about the difference of 5 photos between the 2 records. So if you like a lot of photos, I'd pick up the actual LP itself, not the soundtrack, where if you pay attention to the cover here, you can see it right on the cover, so you can't miss it. Soundtrack. Okay, so let's really kind of dive in here. This one is released by Parlophone. This one is released by United Artists. So that's the main difference there between those 2 LPs. We got Parlophone and United Artists. So this A Hard Day's Night was primarily released in the United States, while this is the UK release. And there is quite the difference on the track list, as you can probably assume, because you know how different albums in different countries come out with different track listings. So we got the side 1 of the UK release here. I'll go through the track listings with you. A Hard Day's Night, I Should Have Known Better, If I Fell, I'm Happy Just to Dance with You, and I Love Her, Tell Me Why, and Can't Buy Me Love is side 1 of the UK LP. And then on the soundtrack, the United States soundtrack here, if you see the front soundtrack, you can't miss it. We have A Hard Day's Night, which is the first track of the UK release. We have Tell Me Why, which is the 6th track of the UK release. I Cry Instead, which is, funny enough, on the UK release it says I'll Cry Instead, and on the US release it says I Cry Instead. So I wonder why they ditched the apostrophe LL, which is I will cry instead. So this one is just say I cry. So it's like interesting. So then track 4 on this one is I Should Have Known Better, which is track 2 on the UK release, actually. So track 4, track 2, I'm Happy Just to Dance with You, is Oh, and I will note that I Should Have Known Better is just the instrumental. So if you want the vocal track of I Should Have Known Better, you'll have to flip it over to side 2 because instrumentals are kind of mixed in throughout the LP on the US soundtrack. So I'm happy just to dance with you, vocal stylies. That's track 5 of the US. I'm happy just to dance with you is track 4 of the UK pressing. And I Love Her is the instrumental, track 6. That's not even on the UK release. So if you want these instrumentals, you'll have to get the soundtrack. Okay. Now, flipping it over to side 2, I'll go over the track listings of the UK side first, which is the traditional release of the album. We got Anytime at All. We got I'll Cry Instead, Things We Said Today, When I Get Home, You Can't Do That, and I'll Be Back. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So side 2 of the US, the soundtrack, is I Should Have Known Better, which I mentioned earlier, is track 2, side 1 of the UK LP. If I Fell is track 3 of the UK pressing, while it's side 2, track 2 of the US release. So Ringo's Theme, which is an instrumental version of This Boy, that's the next track on the US release. The vocal version of Can't Buy Me Love. Now, while it's track 5, side 2 of the US release, track 7 of the UK release. And then the instrumental version of A Hard Day's Night. So if you want to get these instrumental versions, you're going to have to pick up the soundtrack. You don't want to, get confused. If you want the soundtrack, you don't want to pick up the LP, the original English album. So, all right, let's see another thing here. So a lot of these instrumentals were arranged by George Martin. So it says musical director, George Martin, where he doesn't really seem to get that kind of credit on the UK pressing. It just says produced for records by George Martin. So he's not the musical director here, even though I bet he did some directing, you know. All right, so we got, this one plays at 33 1/3 rotations per minute, while this one doesn't seem to specify how many times it rotates in a minute. All right, so let's dive in here. I'm gonna open these suckers up. So first off, I'm gonna do the soundtrack. All right, here we go. We got, this one's a little tight to take out. Note that. So if you don't like it tight when you take it out, maybe get the other one. All right, United Artists, the proudest name in entertainment. So I wonder how they determine that. All right. So it looks like they do a lot of other soundtracks. Okay. All right, here is the record. You can see there are 2 sides. Each one has grooves. That's where the needle goes when you play the record. Still no mention as to the speed, 33 1/3 or... Okay. All right, so on the color side, the colors, we have blue, yellow, white, and red. All right, those are good colors. And they kind of, the red and the white matches the cover of the soundtrack, where the blue is much more the cover of the UK LP release. All right, so here this goes. I'm gonna put this one away for a moment here, and we'll take out the UK, sorry, my apologies. All right, rewind. We're gonna take out the LP of the UK release next. All right, so here it comes. Oh, this one's a little tight to take out too. Okay, so maybe it's just the album itself. All right, so here I see it says Parlophone, and it is nice. They do mention that 33 1/3 rotations per minute right on the disc too, just in case you get confused. Okay. Oh, and so I guess this is where that yellow comes from on the US release, is the Parlophone yellow, because here there's no real colors. And these have the same grooves, two sides, grooves on both sides. But this on the thing, it says songs from the film A Hard Day's Night. Okay, all right, and the numbers listed on here: 0094638241317. So right, if you want the numbers on the LP, write that one, write it down. Is it the same? All right, and on this side we have this numbers: 0094638241317, and it seems to be the same numbers on both sides, so that there's no difference there. All right, okay, it's going back into the sleeve here. All right, and then if I don't know if I read through the numbers on this one, maybe there weren't any. So this one is letters and numbers, which is interesting. I wonder if that's a US versus UK thing, or what exactly that means. Because this, it says UAL, and I'm guessing that's United Artists LLC Limited. I couldn't tell you what the L, maybe the L comes from All Cry Instead, the apostrophe LL that they took off of the US pressing for this, for the soundtrack. This is the soundtrack. Okay, and so UAL 3366A. That one's a little easier to remember, so you might not have to write that one down. You might just remember it. And then it's the same numbers on the other side, but instead of A, it says B. So it's side A and side B, even though if you look more closely, there's something that says side 1 and something that says side 2. So is it A and B, or is it 1 and 2? They can't seem to get their mind made up on the US side. All right. It's interesting, on the US version, they mention the stars of the movies, the producers, the directors, the screenplay. No mention of that on the US release, I've noticed, which is very interesting. Oh, more numbers up here on the top right. PCS 3058. Okay. Okay. Very cool. Very interesting. Very cool. I appreciate you tuning in for another episode of What's the Difference? Because I think we really kind of nailed it this time. We figured out the main differences. All right, hold on. I'm going to put these back in the records. Well, here, I might spin this one, so I'll put that aside for a moment, and then this can go back in. A little bit of a tight fit. So yeah, we figured out the main difference between the US soundtrack release and the United Kingdom LP long player release. And this one is red, this one is primarily blue. There is a little bit of red up top here. You can see the name. They don't put the name of the album in blue on here, just in red on this LP. So the main difference, red LP and well, not the LP itself. The LP is standard vinyl black. That would be pretty cool if they'd had a colored vinyl for the US soundtrack release, but it's vinyl black. So we got a red sleeve. We have the sleeve itself is red,
and the sleeve of the UK release is blue. And so that really answers the question of what's the difference.